and today I'm going to take you through the best players to pick for your wildcard for this week. So first up, we've got Manchester United players. They've got a really strong last few fixtures, and they've also got 2 double game weeks with good fixtures as well. So first up, we've got David De Gea. Almost essential, I think, for you to have him. He's just great defensive coverage, he's nailed, he's not going to get rotated, and should be quite a few clean sheets in the running. Secondly, we've got Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku is one of Mourinho's favourites really, so he should be getting 90 minutes most games, and funnily enough, since Sanchez has come in, his form's actually picked up quite a bit in the last few games, and he's on quite a good run. So with a really good double game week 34, I think he's a really good player to have. In terms of the other defensive options, I think be wary of a little bit of rotation. I think Smalling could be a good option, but I think he might be rotated further down the line, especially once James comes back as well. Next up is Leicester. Leicester's got really good fixtures to the end of the season, and I think one player you have to have in your wildcard is Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez has been in really good form the last few weeks, got really strong fixtures. He's probably playing for a move in the summer, but that will only help him. He's good value, and I just think he could also be a good captain option in the double game weeks. Leicester have also got 2 double game weeks, which is perfect if you've got your free hit chip. Another player I definitely strongly consider is Jamie Vardy. Doesn't have the most explosive returns, but he's always consistent, I think, and with the World Cup looming, I think he's really going to be pushing for a starting place. Again, Leicester, really good fixtures, and they've only got 1 or 2 difficult ones, which Vardy, funnily enough, tends to do quite well in. He's good value, so I'd really strongly consider him. If you're looking for some bench boost players, or maybe some cheap enablers, the Leicester defenders could be a really good option. I think Wes Morgan, 4.4, really good value. I think also Ben Chilwell. He started 7 out of the last 8 games, and you know, you can get the odd assist, so I think 4.3 million, can't really go wrong with that. So a team to definitely look out for over the coming few weeks, especially if you haven't got a free hit chip, are Burnley. They've got some good fixtures, they're quite a solid team, and they're quite cheap on the whole. I think any of the Burnley defensive options are really good calls. I would be a little bit wary with Nick Pope with Tom Heaton coming back, but I think in the defence, where you've got Ben Mee, Tarkowski, and especially Loughton, is only 4.4 million, tends to get forward a little bit as well. There's some really good value in there. Another good enabler from Burnley is Gudmundsson. He tends to be involved in a lot of the play that Burnley do. He's involved in a lot of the set pieces. He ticks over quite well, so I think he's a really good option, especially for that double game week. I think also Ashley Barnes could be a good option. I would worry about a little bit of rotation with Wood behind, but I think in the short term he'll keep his place, and he's been doing really well, so he's one to consider if you're looking for a cheap striker up front. Next, we got Arsenal. Arsenal are a bit of a tricky one really, because they've got really good fixtures, they've picked up a little bit of form in the last few weeks, but the problem is, with the Europa League, I would expect a lot of rotation, and this has been evident in the last few weeks. There is one player, however, you should definitely strongly consider, and that is Aubameyang. Aubameyang can't play in Europe. He's actually been doing well since he's arrived at Arsenal. Tends to play quite high up. He's got a fixture in 35, and also he will have a double game week at some point, so I think he could be a really good option. In terms of other Arsenal assets, I'd probably try and stay clear for now. I mean, potentially Monreal could be a good option, but I just wouldn't trust that Wenger won't rotate him at all. Next, we have Tottenham. Tottenham have a tricky couple of fixtures coming up, but in the long run, I think they possess some really good options. I think right now, Son is essential. Playing that high up at that good of value, I think you really have to consider Son. In terms of other options, obviously Kane later down the line is definitely one you have to consider. He can be so explosive, but for now I'd stay away, find out a way to work him in later down the line. I think Vertonghen is a really good option because he's 6 million, he tends to play most games, and you can't really trust the Tottenham wing backs because they tend to get rotated. So I'd definitely put him forward as a good option. So one team I think that are really going under the radar, and one that you should definitely consider if you're thinking about bench boosting in 37, is Swansea. They've had a bit of a revival recently. I think King, 4.2 million is unbelievable value. Whilst he doesn't get the greatest returns, he really allows you to get some of the bigger players in the rest of your squad. I think a defender would be quite good. Like I said, they have got some nice fixtures, and I think Van der Horn, 4.4, another really good call. Potentially, when he gets back, Jordan Ayew is another good cheap striker option. My thoughts on Liverpool assets are, I think on the whole, I would definitely say keep. I mean, Mohamed Salah, without doubt, you can't drop him. He's just unbelievable. More than likely, he'll probably score more than most other double game week players. I think if you got Andy Robertson cheap, I would be tempted to keep. I think he's good value. I don't think he's going to lose his spot, and I think with Liverpool's good fixtures, he could get some more points in the final run-in. Although Liverpool do have a Champions League fixture, I think because they're going for the top 4 and because they've got a Merseyside derby coming up, I don't see that much rotation, to be honest. And I think Firmino just holds such good value. I think every game he's consistent, he usually gets something, and it would just help you keep ticking along. So for me personally, it's a keep. Chelsea are another team you should be targeting. Got some really good fixtures, also double game week. Alonso is another good option. I think he plays so far forward, and you can also get some clean sheet points. And I think Chelsea will get a few of those over the coming few game weeks. Willian is an interesting one. He could potentially be really good value for the price he is. He's getting some good attacking returns, but I would be slightly worried about the rotation threat with him. Manchester City are a really tricky one. Brilliant team, got some good fixtures and a double game week. But I think with the Champions League and also with the league probably nearly wrapped up soon, I think there will be rotation there. So personally, I'm going to stay clear. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I really appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully do a couple more in the future.